Hey drummers, it's Rob Litton here. Welcome to this free video song lesson. Are you ready to play a little game of Twisted with me? Let's find out what we got in store. So the first thing I want to talk about is the intro, and this always used to throw me off until you actually work out exactly what's being played. The song starts with that bass riff, dun 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 dun, and the key to coming in time with the drums is to understand that that bass is actually playing on the and of each beat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. Not the downbeat, not starting on beat 1, but starting on the and. And so that, if you understand that, if you can feel that, then that allows you to come in correctly with the drums, which occur around 13 seconds. And what Mark Richardson does is he comes in on the and of beat 2, so it's going to start with one of those bass guitar notes, and we're going to play and-a, and then 3 e and-a, 4 e and-a. So it's 2.5 beats of 16th notes, and then if you time that right, with the crash cymbal, you're coming correctly with the rest of the band. So we get this 1 and 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1, just single strokes on the snare drum. We're then into the main groove on the loose hi-hat, as I've written here on the chart, which by the way you can download from my website for free. You find all 3 pages and a link to those 3 pages beneath this video. So you might want to have these printed out in front of you as we go through this together. It probably or hopefully will make things a lot easier for you to understand. So the main groove, open hi-hats, we're pumping on the bass drum on all 4 beats and snare drum on beats 2 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So we get this 1, 2 and the 3 and the 4 and the 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and the 3 and the 4 and the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And on it goes for the rest of the line. We just got to look out for some crash cymbals that occur on beat 1 of bars 2 and on bars 4. Yeah, bar 4. Next line of the intro, we got 2 more bars with a crash cymbal at the beginning of each. And in the last bar, we got our next drum fill. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So we come off the hi-hat, 3 and a 4. And the bass drum is still playing on all 4 beats. So it comes down with beat 4. And the hi-hat closes with that snare drum on the 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And we're then going to go straight into the open hi-hat on the and of beat 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1. We're to our next part. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3. It's a really cool, nice little idea that. But the drum fill itself is 3 and a 4 and open hi-hat on the and of 4. So then we go on to verse 1. But before we do, let me talk about, or let me demonstrate for you what we've got so far. Let me play both lines of the intro up to speed without the microphone on so you can hear just the drums. Here we go. So going on to verse 1 with the vocals kick in, we're just basically playing 8 bars of this groove with the closed hi-hats. Notice that in the verses we don't get the bass drum pumping on all 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So it's not bass drum on all 4 beats. We just go back to beats 1 and 3. If you accidentally play the bass drum on beat 2 and 4 for whatever reason, it's not going to really matter. But know that Mark plays just beats 1 and 3 with the bass drum. The last bar of that line, we get 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. So Mark plays 4 bass drums in a row, 3 and 4 and 1. A little bit of variation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Sorry, we're not playing all 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1. We then go on to the next line. We get our first example in bar 2 of these little triplets hi-hat licks that Mark throws in all over the place. So starting on the and of beat 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1. That's the sticking I use, right, right, left, right. So 16th note triplets, and to 1, right, right, left, right. If you use that sticking, you start with the right hand, you also end with the right hand. It sort of helps it feel more comfortable, but you can use any sticking you like. We also get that natural da-da-da-da accented sort of sound. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and to 1. Those sort of little embellishments aren't essential for the song, but that's what's being played there. We then go on, 2 more bars of groove. Then the last 4 bars, we'll take a look at bar 4, 5, 6, where around beat 4 roughly, we start to have the hi-hat open and we get this gradual opening of the hi-hats. We get 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So by the time we get to the last bar there, the hi-hat's sort of fully open, we get 1, and then this signature drum fill which gets played throughout the song. Without the bass drum underneath, we get 1 and a 2 E and a 3 and 4 and a 1. 1 and a 2 E and a 3 and 4 and a 1. That's sticking I use. Right, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, 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 left, crash. And we're still building up in volume for the first part of that drum fill. So the last 2 bars, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1. Yeah, I sort of tried to build up in volume a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Perhaps it's not as gradual as that, but you'll sort of hear that the first snare drum note isn't as loud as the other ones. So 1 and a 2 E and a 3 and 4 and a 1. A lot of fun to play that. Then we go into chorus 1, where the bass drum starts to pump on all 4 beats. That previous bar with the drum fill, we had the bass drum pumping on all 4 beats. Now it continues into chorus 1. Bass is the same as our intro groove. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then the last 3 bars of the line, we get this next signature drum fill for the choruses, which occur in, let me get this right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, bar 6, starting halfway through bar 6. 1, 2, 3 and 4 ands. Remember the bass drum's just pumping all 4 beats. We get this and 4 ands occurring. These da da and 2 and or and 4 and each time. We can see it in the next bar. We get it in both halves of the bar. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. But at this point, Mark isn't playing the open hi-hats on beats 1 and 3. We just play it with the hi-hats for those snare drum hits. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. The hi-hat just continues to ring out. Then that last bar, we get 1, so going in from the previous and 4 and 1. And then we're going to continue with that snare drum on the left hand on the snare drum. We're just going to move our right hand to various toms. We get 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and then and 4 and then it's not and 4, it's 3 and then 4 snare and crash together. But we basically get this 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. See, the right hand just moves down to the various parts of the kit. Your left hand is just playing snare drum all the way through that. So the last 3 bars of that line, 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1. Notice that big gap on beat 4 going into beat 1 of the next line. I'll play top speed for you in a moment. Let's go on to the next line, where bars 6 to 8, same idea again. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. But the last bar, different drum fill. We get 1 plays the hi-hat on its own on beat 1. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and 4 and a 1. Same drum fill as we had at the end of the verse 1. So 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and a 3 and a 3 and 4 and a 1. We then go into the last line of chorus 1, crash cymbal every 2 bars, and for the last bar of that line we get a slight variation of that intro drum fill. We get 1 and 2 and up to the high tom, the hi-hat closes this point, 3 and a 4. We get this da 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 da. Naturally it sort of increases in volume from the first note being normal volume, and then da 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 da, 3 and a 4, and the dynamics help to make it sound really cool. If we leave the dynamics out, we just get, which is not as cool as exactly the same lick, it's just the dynamics there making it sound a lot sweeter. So we get this 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 3 and a 4 and 1 into verse 2. Right, so now that we play for you, we start halfway through first line of chorus 1. We'd have to play all those bars. So halfway through first line of chorus 1, and then the next 2 lines. Here we go. So verse 2, back to the closed hi-hat, bass drum on beats 1 and 3 only. Bar 8 has this really cool drum fill in it. Start on the hi-hat, we get 1, and then it's just a linear idea around the drums. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, with a surprise snare and crash. By the way, he uses a lot of splash cymbals in this. I've written them all as crash cymbals, because most people don't have a set of splash cymbals. So crash is absolutely fine. But if you're hearing like a very light, a very quiet crash cymbal, that's probably a splash he's using. But I think he uses a china for that particular drum stab, the and the 4 there. So we get 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Notice the bass drum pops in that gap there on beat 3. So we get the 2 bars together. I always find that it's better to play like a 2-bar loop rather than just play the 1 drum fill bar on its own. So we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. I'm going to keep that mistake in for you, just so you can see that this is quite tricky to read off the page, but once you get it, you'll be kicking yourself going, what was that? What was that difficult for? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Really nice. Just notice how the right hand moves down the various toms. Snare drum stays on beats 2 and 4. Then we go on to the next line. Bar 2 has that little triplet lick again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. On it goes. Last 3 bars of that line, the hi-hat starts to open around beat 3 this time, so slowly, gradually opening over the length of the next 2 bars. And then the last bar is 1 and a 2 and a 3 and 4 and a 1. So exactly the same drum fill as we had at the end of verse 1. Then we go on to chorus 2, which, just double check, chorus 2, first line identical to the first line of chorus 1. We get the da 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 da. Exactly the same idea lick as the previous chorus. Chorus 2 continued on the next page. We get, going into our bridge, part 1, we get a slightly different variation of the drum fill. So the last 3 bars, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So instead of 3 and 4, it's 3 and 4 and. So we go right up to the end of the bar there with a surprise little snare and crash on the and of beat 4. The last 2 bars, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and then going to go into bridge part 1, where we move to the closed hi-hat, kind of like a 3-part little drum solo for Mark. Very cool. So first part, we move into what's known as a half-time groove. We're playing the bass drum still on all 4 beats, but the snare drum's only popping out on beat 3. So we get 1, 2, 3, 4. Then in that first bar, we get that little triplet lick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the beat 4 there in bar 2 is snare and crash together. Then this next little lick, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, E and a 1, which I love. Again, with the dynamics, we get this the snare drum there, 4E is played lightly, 4E and a 1. Up to the 2 toms, play the floor tom on beat 1. Notice the bass drum still going. So you've got to come off the hi-hat relatively quickly. You're going to play 4E, but your left hand's already on the snare drum, 4E and a 1. Then you're back to the hi-hat for the and beat 1 in the last bar. 1, 2, 3, 4, E and a 1, and 2 and 3 and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, E and a 1, 2, 3, 4, and really nice. Next line, we get this little snare drum on the of beat 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, a 1. So literally the last 16th note of the bar, and a 1, 2, 3, 4, and next bar there, the and of 4 is the open hi-hat. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and then, excuse me, the last bar, we get this little drum fill, starting with a very subtle little drag with the left hand. You can leave out that drag if you wanted to and just play. But we get 1E and a 2E and a 3 and 4 and. Now I've written this or transcribed this song for 2 toms. I'm pretty sure that's what Mark uses. He might have a 3rd floor tom, but if you watch him play live, he's only got the 1 rack tom in front of him. So if you wanted to use a 3rd tom, you could play 1E and a 2E and a 3 and 4 and. But most drummers don't have the 3rd rack tom, floor tom, and it sounds just as good. You just got to give it a bit more welly for those last notes. Again, we get 1E and a 2E and a 3 and 4 and. With the drag, the bass drum there is pumping on all 4 beats. So let's put both those bars together. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1E and a, missed it. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1E and a 2E and a 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. We're actually going to go into bridge part 2 with the ride cymbal. Because we've got that snare drum and crash on the and of 4 from that drum fill, be aware that Mark then does also play another crash cymbal on beat 1, so we get and 1. So be aware there's 2 crash cymbals there next to each other. Okay, before we go on, I'm going to play halfway through the line of chorus 2 continued at the top of the page, and then the whole of part 1 going into a part of part 2, so we can hear how we transition from section to section. Here we go. So the bridge, part 2 as I've called it, we're on the ride cymbal. Again continuing with that half-time fill, snare drum on beat 3 of each bar. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. So we get this little snare drums on the and of 4 every 2 bars, snare and crash on beat 3 every 2 bars roughly. So I think bars 1 and 2 are exactly the same as bars 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Next line continues with that idea, but then the last 2 bars, probably the trickiest part of the song to read off the page, but not the most complicated part to play. Took me a little bit of time slowing it down to really hear what toms and snare drums he's using. This is what I think he's playing. So starting with that 3rd bar, we get 1 and 2 and 3 and a 4. 3 and left hand comes up to the hi-hat, your hi-hat will be over here. And we get and just a little 16th note bark on the hi-hat. 1 and 2 and 3 and a 4. We're then going to go and a 4 into our snare drum fill, snare and tom drum fill. And slowly, without the bass drum underneath, this is the orchestration I think he's using. We get 4 E and a, and I split this up into chunks of 4 notes. And notice how each of the 4 beats has a snare drum on the downbeat with the snare drum every time. So 4 E and a is our first 4. Then next bar, 1 E and a, right, it's all right, left, right, left, right, left. Continuing with the snare drum to the next beat, 2 E and a, and then 3 E and a, 4 and 3 E and a, and then 4 and snare and crash. Quite hard to read off the page quickly, but we get 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3, a 4 E and a 1 E and. See, I made this mistake many times. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 and. 1 and 2 and 3, a 4, sorry, 1 and 2 and 3 and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 and. I had to really concentrate to read that off the page. Now, if I was playing this with a band or in my room for fun, I wouldn't necessarily worry about trying to play that drum fill exactly the same way as Mark does it. I doubt he does either. He probably uses different toms every time. It's not a learnt pattern. It sounds pretty random, but it has, it makes sense. Little chunks make sense. So what I'm saying is that as long as you sort of just play a bar and a bit of 16th notes leading into the and a 4 there with the crash at the end, it's going to sound like the song. So we get 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and 4 and. So I was just playing around the toms there and sort of aiming for that and a 4, and that'd do you. But I've shown you how he actually plays it on the recording, and I'll play it up to speed for you in a moment. So let's go into bridge part 3 for now. We then go into this new section, breaking it down even further. No snare drum on the backbeat of beat 3. We just get 1, 2, 3, 4. Then this cool little reggae sort of hi-hat lick occurs. 1 and 2 and 3. So the standard idea before, but then we get and 3 and 4 E. 3 and 4 E. That requires a little bit of dynamics. I'm playing the 4 E as a upstroke, then an accent. So we get 1 and 2, 3 and 4 E. 1, 2, 3 and 4 E. It's important you use those dynamics to make it sound exactly like Mark's playing it. So bars 1 and 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4 E. 1. We're then going to go into a crash, where we get 1 and 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1. And then this cool bit, play between the bell of the ride cymbal and the hi-hat. Again, your left hand will be over here. We get 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, just moving my right hand, I hope you're doing it correctly, not hitting that, to the bell of the ride cymbal on the and of each beat. So we get 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Back to the hi-hat for beat 1. Next line, 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and. Open hi-hat and turn the and of beat 4. Then these quarter note triplets. Snare drum, floor tom and bass drum. We get 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1. That's how you technically count them. You're playing a note every 2 eighth note triplets you're counting. Don't worry too much if that doesn't make sense to you. You've just got the song to memorise it. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1. 6 notes there. Then we get 1, 2, 3, 4. Mark counts the band back in with the hi-hat foot, and then Old Faithful at the end. 1 E and a 2, 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and 4 and a 1. But that time that drum fill does start on the downbeat of beat 1, with the bass drum pumping in all 4 beats. Into chorus 3. So, a lot of stuff going on there. Let me now play for you up to speed. So, starting on the second line of bridge part 2, and then including all of bridge part 3. Here we go. that's the most technical part of the song out the way now. Chorus 3, we get the first line exactly the same as our previous choruses. Line 2, we get a very similar idea to a previous chorus. The last 3 bars, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and a 1. In fact, I've just noticed, beat 4, there's a floor tom there. Pretty sure I heard that correct. 1, and a 2, and a 3, and 4, and a 1. Very subtle on the recording, you might have missed it, but it's there on the recording, so I thought I'd include it. Beat 4 there is the floor tom instead of the snare drum. 1, and a 2, and a 3, and 4, and a 1. If you want to play it note for note, but you can play the snare drum there instead. Absolutely fine. Last page, chorus 4. We're going back to snare drum on beats 2 and 4, and we've got this snare and crash being played on on beats 2 and 4 of the bar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Second line continues with that idea, but bar 4, we get 1 and a 2 and 3 and 4 and a 1. So a little bit of cool moving of the beats there. You notice the bass drum is playing on beat 2 still. We get 1 and a 2, but then we got this bass drum on the and a beat 2 with that crash cymbal. 1 and a 2 and then the bass drum cuts out and we just play the next bass drum with that crash cymbal on the and a 3, 3 and then 4 and a 1 into a crash. So we get 1 and a 2 and 3 and 4 and a 1, 2, 3, 4 going on there. So those last 2 bars, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and a 2 and 3 and 4 and a 1, 2, 3, 4. On to the next line, line 3, where at the end of bar 2 and 4 we get this 4 and 1. That's how I play it. 4, snare and crash, then and with the bass drum, and then 1 also with the bass drum. So we get this 4 and 1, 4 and 1, or 4 and 1. So I play that crash cymbal right, and then my left hand plays that crash cymbal for the beat 1 of the next bar. That occurs twice. Then the very last line, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4 and. So beat 3 with the bass drum and right cymbal. Then we're going to move to the open hi-hat with the snare drum and with the bass drum to give the outro riff a bit more power. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Sorry, it starts on beat 3. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. So and 4 and 1. Hi-hat closes on its own on beat 1, and that's how the song ends. So now that we play for you the last 3 lines of chorus 4 to the end of the song, here we go. So I hope you enjoyed the lesson. If you've got any questions, feel free to email me, rob@drumstheword.com, and do let me know what you thought of the lesson down there in the comments section. If you've got any song suggestions of your own that you'd like to suggest, then that's a great place to type them. And then don't forget you can download the free PDF from our website. Again, the link is beneath this video. Go over there. While you're at the website, you might want to check other stuff out. But until our next drum lesson together, toodle pip and happy drumming to you. If you enjoyed this video, then please give it a thumbs up and let me know in the comments below. And you can watch my other free drum lessons by clicking the links on the screen now. Alternatively, if you want to learn how to play literally hundreds of famous and popular songs in full, from start to finish, and including the fully transcribed sheet music, then check out my website drumstheword.com for further details. Thanks for watching.